A beep bop boo da boo. Boo doo 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 doo. I'm live once again because I am the Oracle Clyde. That's right, kids. Coming to you again from the South, the United States of America, Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, so once again, going to do a little tarot card reading. I got my tea tonight. We are drinking a little bit of Constant Comment mixed with an herbal blend of citrus and a little bit of Irish whiskey. I love Irish whiskey in just about anything there is. But it's good in tea. I'll mix it in coffee too, but tonight I'm going for tea, a little bit of low acid because I got a little upset tummy. Anyway, also got a little bit of cheesecake, and I don't know what this is. At work today, we had a Thanksgiving feast, and I took a lot of that shit home because that's I get to work at home, but I do have to show up to work, put in an appearance about once every 2 weeks or more when there's free food. Because when there's free food, that's when I'm there. Okay? So, got some free food. I got my tea and my whiskey. And I got my awesome tarot cards. You know? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to open the cards. Okay? I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to hold them. I'm going to bless them. Let the universe look at my cards and bless them. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each card. Oops. I'm going to look at each card. Just kind of get an idea because, as I've said before, the brain remembers. All right? The brain remembers. It's the greatest computer there is. And I want to cement in my brain every card, its placement, its order in the deck, its orientation, upright, that kind of thing, you know. So I just need to see. And there we go. There we go. This is what I like to do, starting off every time. Just, you know, I could just hold the cards and let my brain psychically divine where the cards are. I could do that too. I like to do this just to help my brain out along a little bit. You know, sort of hedge my bets. But regardless, the tarot gives great insight. It allows us to sort of talk it out. Sort of talk out our feelings, our fears, our belief structures. It allows us to question ourselves. It's not a crutch. It's a tool. It is a tool to help you understand what you are doing. What do you want to do? Okay? So, there are the cards. I'm going to set this off to the side, my book. So anyway, before we get started, I'll just take a little bit more sip of my tea. And welcome anyone who's viewing right now. Welcome to the Oracle Clyde. And let's take a little bit of a bite of the cheesecake. This looks like a chocolate swirl. Wow. Oh my goodness. There's a little bit of mocha and white chocolate and like a torte. It's incredibly rich. My blood sugar has gone up. Going to need to take a metformin pill for my fat beaties. Not too much happened in the news today. It turns out that FLOTUS, the First Lady of the United States, believes that she has the right to publicly express her dissatisfaction with a member of the National Security Council. So, for some reason, overnight, we became a monarchy, and we can have Trumpy's family members tell us who they want and don't want to work for the federal government. So that happened today. Just to warn you, I am very progressive. Sorry, don't know many rednecks that do the tarot. Just because my name's Clyde and I got a southern accent doesn't mean I'm a Trumper. Regardless of that, we've got the fires are still raging. And global warming, big cause of that. What else? We've got the election still going. Stacey Abrams, she's finding more votes in counties that supposedly were already at 100% reporting, but we're finding more. And these are election night votes. These aren't absentee ballot showing up at the last second from overseas. These are election night votes. So we got that going on. So we got closer to a runoff, and that's pretty impressive. It's pretty awesome. Rick Scott, he's getting more and more nervous, threatening to send his dudes, threatening to send the police to confiscate the ballot boxes to prevent recounts. Yeah, that's totally democratic. Anyway, we've got that going on. We got celebrities who've lost their house in the fire, and we got a lot more people that have been reported dead. So we got that. That's pretty awful. Trump throwing a shit fit about France because President Macron totally dissed him publicly on the world stage to his face. It was pretty awesome. So we got that going on, and we've got a Pikachu trailer came out. That was cool. So there's an interesting day. Nothing too nuts. Oh yeah, a bunch of people are going to get fired from the White House as usual. The Trump train just goes round and round. Come in, say something bad about the president, get stabbed in the back, get fired. It's in 2 years, they've got more turnaround than a McDonald's in a college town. So it's a shame. Anyway, why don't we start off with just we'll start off with a nice threefer. Okay, let's change. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling. Okay, and I'm going to read just a nice little three. How about the political prospects of Andrew Gillum against Rick Scott? Okay. Now, actually, yeah, we'll do just a quick briefer on that. I don't think Andrew Gillum actually has the votes against Rick Scott. That's a shame. I don't think he's got the votes. So I'm just going to do a quickie, just a quickie threefer. One more time, shuffling. Oh, that was good. Okay, now let's do our cut. 1, 2, and 3. Okie dokie. We're going to do a threefer. It's going to be past, present, and future. Just an easy, quick one. Okay. So we got Andrew Gillum, whether he's going to prevail. Okay. So, the Emperor, the past. Now, the Emperor is an authority figure, of course. He's a father figure, is major arcana, which typically denotes very, very important influences, major influences. And that's in the past, but this is in reversed. So it's a father figure who's not maybe sort of been absent. Okay, it also has to do with arrogance, and this could represent Rick Scott, the governor, because he is not a trustworthy fellow, and the Emperor reversed is an untrustworthy leader. Okay, so we could be dealing with that in the past. And in the present, oh, wow. The Sun is a very good card. Happiness and contentment, buoyant joy. We got a child. We have sunflowers, which is a symbol of life and fertility. And of course, the sun, which is a very good omen. This is a card of very good luck. Okay, and then we have the future, and that's interesting because the Hermit is a card of a man in search of the truth, a person who separates themselves from society, not in order to get away from it, but in order to go on a quest. In order to seek the truth. So something good's going to happen. We come from a bad situation in our present situation, okay? Good fortune, but then we have a card of introspection and seeking. That kind of card, I'm not too sure how to interpret. These are three major arcana cards. So, honestly, when I look at this, I see a very good outcome for Andrew Gillum. And I see right here, possibly, introspection, whether it be with the voters or the Republican Party, in order to see where we went wrong, where they went wrong, not me. So, I think it's all... I think he may pull it out. That's pretty. Maybe I need to do a full reading for illumination. Okay. Well, let us try that now. Andrew Gillum is already a mayor. Okay, he's already the mayor of Tallahassee. He is a leader. He is a very intelligent man. He is plain-spoken but inspirational. So, and he is a very enterprising man. So, I'm thinking King of Wands. I would choose King of Swords for intellectual... an intellectual thing, but I think since this is a political endeavor, actually I think swords would be, so I'm going to find the King of Swords. Where are you? I'm finding the King of Swords to represent Andrew Gillum. Okay. It's probably going to be the very, very last. Oh, no, there it is. Okie dokie. So. All right. King of Swords, authority, intellectual, leader, judgment, truth. He does drop a lot of truth bombs. Okay, so that is our querent. I'm doing a further reading of Mr. Gillum. Okay? So, let us check it out. All right. All right. Greetings, my one viewer. You're awesome. Let's have a little sip of liquid courage. Okay. Time to shuffle. Question is, Andrew Gillum, will he survive to fight and win against Governor Scott in order to go to the governorship of Florida? That is our question. So, we're going to do our shuffle. Excellent. We got one shuffle. We have two shuffles. We must do three. That is the tradition. And tarot is all about tradition. And number 3. All right. So we're going to cut it into 3 decks. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Now let's give ourselves a little room. All right. That's good. Now, that is the King of Swords, our querent, Mr. Gillum. Now, excellent. This covers you. So, 1 second. That is the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. And this covers you. This is our current situation and the influences. This is what we're dealing with at this moment. All right. Now, the 10 of Pentacles has to do with family, inheritance, tradition, also retirement, that sort of thing. Now, he is trying to retire. He's trying. Okay, Andrew Gillum, getting my races, getting my political races mixed up. So we got Andrew Gillum who's going against DeSantis. Okay. And this right now represents, I would say, establishment, okay? Republican establishment, okay? That's what he's dealing with right now. Those are the influences, okay? And he's trying to retire them. This next card, this is our challenge, okay? It's the 10 of Swords. It is it's a sad card. It's a pretty sad card. All right, this has got 10 swords through this dude. Okay, and 1 second, I'm going to take a bite of this delicious cake. Oh my God. It's like a little lemon and cranberry. Holy shit. That's pretty amazing. All right. Now, in this position, it crosses. Okay. So, these are the obstacles that must be taken care of, addressed, and surpassed in order to move on to the next level. Betrayal, death, endings, pain, sadness, just general shittiness. Okay, if Andrew Gillum wants to win, he's got to get past this. Okay, maybe he has to get past the sadness of not winning this outright. Maybe he has to get past the sadness of trickery and deceit, that kind of thing, or maybe he has to deal with a death. But something he has to get past, a very bad event, in order to win. Okay? Interesting. So, this next one is above us. That's an interesting card. So, okay, so we got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. And this one, this is above you. This is what you hope to achieve, maybe the best that can be achieved. This can, what things may happen, or where they're going to. This is a card of very hard work, of a payoff. This man, of course, has taken a slight break to look at what he's done, the work that he's achieved, and you reap what you sow. Well, he has sown a lot of good fortune through hard work, and that's what this card. And this is a good omen. This is a card of omen. This is a position of omen. Okay, so the Oracle Clyde does say that is a good omen. Mm-hmm. So let's go to the next one. All right. Oh no, wrong position. This is beneath him. Okay, so what we're going to do, that is the Magician. Okay, so this is below you. This is sort of like a foundation of the querent. What does he bring to the table? Subconsciously, all the events of the querent build this person to who they are. Okay, sort of like the sum of your life. This serves as your rock, your foundation. Okay, sometimes this is a good card of introspection. Okay, this is the Magician. Interesting. It's reversed. Okay, because typically the Magician is a card of a very skilled, talented person who, through their abilities and their sheer force of will and personality, they're able to manipulate the world around them like a magician who can use all the tools. When it's reversed, that person is not who they say they are. They misrepresent who they are. There may be a con man, or maybe they do have all those powers, but they don't use them for good. Okay, they use them for very negative. But also, it can mean, whereas a man has all of these skills in reversed, he's unable to conquer them. Okay, he's scattered. So maybe we're dealing with, well, on one side, maybe I don't know Mr. Gillum personally. Maybe he is an asshole. Maybe he has gotten to where he is through subterfuge. Okay? He is a politician. Maybe on the surface, he shows us exactly who he is. Maybe that's what we're dealing with. Or maybe we're dealing with a person who has struggled to master everything he wants to master, and he hasn't been able to wrestle it. I don't think so. He's had a pretty good life so far and has achieved a lot. And so, we'll definitely, that's something I can't really attest to, but that's interesting. So if you're watching, Mr. Gillum, you know what this card means. I don't. I don't want to cast aspersions on your good name. This is behind you. This is what has just come to pass. So we got the Star. Okay, so the Star. It's a good omen, but it's reversed. Another reversal. I don't like that. Okay. So these are events that have just passed us, and they've moving up to now. They've just happened. And got another arrogance card. Haughtiness, typically, upright. It's a good omen card. You know, you got bright prospects. Good things are coming your way. So there is hope. You know, it's interesting. Upright, the card of the star can mean that you're suffering a loss. Things have been taken from you, and your current situation really sucks. But the star says, hey, don't worry. Things are going to get better. In reversed, it could be, you know, loss of hope. Okay? So that could be what the star is signifying. He's coming from a place where unable to affect any change. Okay? Unable to see a bright spot. So that's let me there's another text I'm looking at right here. And you know, the star, yeah, it does, you know, regaining hope and counting your blessings, being inspired, that sort of thing. It typically does denote hope, especially when grief and despair are gripping you. So in the reverse, we have the absence of hope in a situation where you're going through. So maybe that's what he just came out of. Okay? Certainly makes a lot of sense. He thought that he had this in the bag, and he's like, damn it, I lost. I could have swore I was going to win. Wait a minute, what? We got more votes? Whoa, there's a chance? Really? Okay, you know, so maybe that's what happened. It's like, hey, I could pull this off if we actually count all the votes. Because as we know, Florida has a problem with counting votes. 2000 election. So, anyway, okie dokie. Well, let's go here. All right, so this one is another damn reverse card. These are a lot of negative energy around this thing, as there is. There's a big swirling vortex of negativity focused around Florida, just like 18 fucking years ago. Pardon my language. Not really. Okay, so we got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, and all right. And this is in front of you. This is what's about to transpire. Okay, doesn't mean it's the end, the outcome, but this is where events are heading right now. Look at it like a mile marker. All right, we're about to pull off onto this overpass and stop and get some Bojangles, and then all of a sudden you see Elvis. It's like an event. You're like, holy shit! But wow, I just saw Elvis, so I got to go on. But I got to go on. I got to get to Washington D.C. I got a meeting. Elvis, you're looking good. You know, an important event. Pretty crazy, but you still got shit to do. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Now, upright, the Queen of Pentacles, she is a very maternal person. She is in control, runs her home, her household, and she's also well off and very generous, a very warm person. Reversed, we're dealing with financial problems at home, okay? And the home is neglected. We have financial problems. So here's a thing. He could be out of money. Not personally, but the campaign. It's very expensive. Okay? So he's got to do the runoff. He's got to do all of these things. Count the votes. Go to court. Pay lawyers. So that's really expensive. So maybe they're heading for some tough times. Maybe that's why this card right here is just coming from having no hope also. Maybe this is an issue. Maybe this is tied to it. We got a lot of reversals going on so far. That's nuts. Okay. We're in the final stretch. Okay. God damn it, another reversal. What is going on here? Okay. So, all right, we got the Eight of Cups. Okay, so Eight of Cups. And this represents the querent, okay? This is the dude, okay? This is how he sees himself, okay? Now, it's interesting because upright, the cups, basically this man is walking away. He is to a point in his life where he's willing to walk away from all of these stacked cups, which represent a good, bountiful life. Maybe he's decided it's time to move on, okay? Maybe it's time to go to the next chapter, and maybe he's dissatisfied with his life. He's got everything. He's got the condo. He's got the girl. He's got the boy, whatever. No judging, And he leaves it, walks away. Not necessarily good or bad. It's a card of perspective, okay? Now, when it's reversed, it typically talks about clinging to the past, aimlessness, and you don't have that perspective in your life. You don't see what you have. Perhaps you're blind to everything around you. There is sort of an aimlessness. That's typically what it has. I've got another text up here that I've been referring to. That's pretty good. This one talks about an ending is approaching. Nothing's permanent in life. This stands for the moments when we realize once and for all that the past is gone. What was true is no longer true. The signs of change in our face, and we must accept them. It's time to move on. Now, this is reversed. Not willing to move on. Okay? So either Andrew Gillum is not willing to move on. And that is the thing. He sees himself. He's like, no, I'm not willing to move on. I'm staying right here. Maybe he can't see the forest for the trees. Maybe everyone's like, dude, you're not going to win. He's like, no, I'm going to stay right here. Okay? Maybe he doesn't get the message. Maybe that's what makes a very successful person who doesn't listen to everyone that tells him you failed. It's like, no, I didn't fail. Or maybe I did fail, but I can pull a victory out of this. So maybe that's how he sees himself. That's interesting. Okay, so another reversal. We got a lot of negative energy going on this one. Not feeling it, Mr. Gillum. The Fool. This is how people see him. So, all right. Okay. This is the environment. External. This is how people see the querent. Okay. Now, the Fool is normally the person at the beginning of their journey. Okay. There is an innocence to it. We all are the fool at some point in our life. And the tarot is a sort of a graphical representation of our journey through our own lives, both spiritual and physical. So that is, that's typically what the Fool means upright, okay? And we all know that person who just graduated college and they're like, I'm gonna conquer the world. And everyone's like, oh, that's so precious. That's so sweet. Wait till you get a mortgage. Excuse me. Okay. But the Fool is reversed. So what are the negative aspects of that kind of person? Naive. Someone who's just a damn fool. I can see that a lot of people probably are calling him a damn fool. Okay? So, yeah, sure. There are a lot of dicks out there, and Andrew, he's standing up. He's like, I'm not going to lose. We're like, you've already lost. No, I haven't. Still got more votes to count. So, Andrew Gillum he has spunk. That's what he has. So, another card reversal. Hey, thanks. So, thank you, Ruth Morgan. That's a good name. I'm going to let you in on a secret. That's my last name. Maybe we're related. Anyway, we've got the moon. Okay, so let us. Okay, so bring up the moon. All right, and no, Morgan. Morgan is my last name. Clyde. Let's see. But thank you for asking. Okay. We've got with the moon is in, this is the hope and fear position, okay? So this is something that's nice and illuminating to the person. So typically upright, it's a card of mystery, deception, either or. We've got danger and darkness, hidden enemies, that kind of thing. But when it's reversed, it's typically just to a lesser degree. So we've got a little bit of instability. Definitely in this case with Andrew Gillum, we can say that's going on right now. Okay. And he probably believes that he is surrounded by a lot of deception. Certainly, there's certainly the unknown going on right now. So that is a fear of his. I can't believe that would be a hope, unless he's hoping for more unknown and fear in order to help him. That doesn't seem to help him. So that's probably a very natural fear to have at this junction concerning the question, which is, of course, is he going to win the election? And the final card, and then we'll sort of look at our pairings. Okay, another reversal. Almost every card has been a reversal with the exception of a few of these. Okay, so we got the Hierophant. Okay, so let's bring up Hierophant. Okay. There we go. Okay, so normally the Hierophant represents institutions, both learning, religion, traditional beliefs, the church, but marriage. In reverse, of course, we're talking about status quo, certain restrictive beliefs that are very difficult to break through, maybe the negative aspects of what the Hierophant represents. Which typically leads to people pushing in those boundaries and questioning themselves and the structure in which they grew up in. So this is interesting for the outcome right here, since the Hierophant represents established order, and this is in reverse. Could we be talking about the negative aspects of the establishment preventing Andrew Gillum from winning? And that is an issue with him, because he's living in a state that for the past 18 years has had every opportunity to fix every problem from that clusterfuck of an election in 2000, regardless of your political belief. That should have gotten all these things fixed. And we didn't. In fact, more laws were passed. More voter suppression laws were passed. More ways to deny votes. Things were made more difficult. So when it all comes down and so many people vote, the system becomes overwhelmed. Polling places are closed. The establishment makes it possible for the entire system to fall apart and for a win to be litigated. Because you don't want a smooth system. A smooth system would have produced an outright winner on election night. You certainly don't want that. You want to keep things murky, unknown. And so right now we are dealing with an establishment that wants to keep things. So let's take a look. Okay. All right. You know what? I think I need another bite of my cheesecake. All right. I need a little sugar brain food. Okay. Let's see. We have the Magician, and we have the Magician reversed, and we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, holding on to the past and instability as a foundation. Okay, and all these reverses, it doesn't make for a good potential outcome. When you have a foundation of sand, it's hard to stand upright. These don't seem to be external forces. They seem to be centered around him. Okay, and this, of course, is a good omen. But let's remember that this card is also the best that can be achieved of what the querent wants to happen in a good scenario. But I see a man that possibly may not be up to this insurmountable challenge of an establishment that is dedicated to preventing him from getting ahead, that maybe he has his own demons in order to quash before he's even able to. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's unlikely that Andrew Gillum can beat DeSantis. Not impossible. But I see the negativity being so overwhelming. But then again, everyone sees him as naive. He perceives himself, he fears all of the unknown from happening. This is going to happen pretty soon. Financial instability at the home. And maybe that's in the campaign, but that doesn't mean he'll lose. That's just something that is going to happen. And he must get past this. These may be related to each other. Okay, so this may require another reading. This may require further refinement of the question. I asked such an open-ended question. I think I may need to do that. I think I may need to refine the question. Okay, let's see here. All right, so, okay. My original question was, is Andrew Gillum going to win against DeSantis? Right now, we're dealing with several battles of winning. Is he going to win this upcoming vote battle to count everything? Do I want to just go ahead and ask, does he have the fortitude to overcome? If Andrew Gillum has the ability to overcome his own shortcomings, his own personal view of himself, and any demons that he's had in his life. Will he be able to overcome all of the obstacles that are against him? Can he surpass all of the negativity and the naysayers, the nattering nabobs of negativity? I can't remember who said that. I think it was the genie in Aladdin. So, let's think of it like that. Andrew Gillum needs to overcome all of the oppressive forces, spiritual attachment, as you will, of all of the establishment against him. Can he overcome that establishment and beat the odds? Does he have the ability to muster that internal magic and wield the power as the magician and overcome all the odds? Hello? I like interesting. I'm not going to say that out loud. But that's a cute name. So, okay. Andrew Gillum, DeSantis. That's what we're going to read. So, let's go ahead. Let's switch cameras. There we go. All right. This is going to cover us. Oh, damn it, another reversal. What is up with that? Okay, so we got the Six of Swords. Okay. All right. All right. In the first position, this covers you, of course, for those who have joined us. This, of course, is a transition, necessary break, moving to a new place. That's typically what it means. But reversed, it sort of means you had to leave or you want to. You got emotional baggage. You feel trapped. So a desire to escape. So yeah, he definitely has a desire to escape. Maybe he wants to escape his job to be governor. Maybe he's everything is on all sides. He is surrounded by a lot of people that want to wish him harm. Okay, so and there is that. There's the frustration and the wanting the ability to move forward, but can't. He's being blocked. So yeah, I can totally see that. Oh, good. Finally, an upright card. All right. That is the Knight of Swords. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. So, this crosses you. This is an obstacle that he needs to get past in order to get to the resolution. He must address these obstacles. Okay? Now, the Knight tells you, excuse me, to do this. Okay? Take these actions. Okay? So he's got strength and bravery. He jumps into the fight. Okay? He's very, very headstrong. Headstrong can sometimes be not necessarily negative, but we all work with that person that says what they think, Maybe they're a little bit too honest. Maybe they tell you that you're wrong because they know that they are right. And what sucks is that you know that they're right, and you hate to admit that he's right. And he has no problem, or she has no problem telling you that you're wrong. That's the Knight of Swords. But the Knight of Swords is a good person, okay? And the Knight of Swords says, go in there, take charge, take charge strong, be sure in your convictions, okay? He needs to do that in order to get to the next level. That is his challenge. The next one, another reversal. Six of Pentacles. All right, so it's above you. This is the best resolution that can happen. It can also be an omen of what may come to pass, what he wants to come to pass. Okay? Normally, this is a card of charity, of you have done well in life and you want to share it in order to balance out, share your prosperity. Unfortunately, when it's reversed, it means you are on the receiving end. You are in debt, or maybe you haven't been as good with yourself, with your own life, and you're unable to share because you haven't done as well as you should. It also says offer with strings. It can mean that, not in this particular situation though. I think this has to do with, in the previous reading we had that, we had the thing that was going to happen soon, which was sort of a home financial issue, that possibly his campaign was going to completely run out of money, or it could just be home instability. This may be another indication of that, something that's going to happen. Okay? So he needs to look out for that he's going to hit bottom or instability within the campaign. And that's interesting because that card came up in a similar position. That card came up in that position. Okay. No, it was the crossing. This is what he brings. This is the foundation. Okay. So, we got the Ten of Swords. Okay. Okay. This is the root of the issue, the foundation, what the querent brings to the table, from the past all the way up to the present. And this is pain and sadness, death, betrayal, all those bad things. This is what he brings. There may be some personal issues that he's dealing with, or this can just be, betrayal from someone within the campaign. I'm not part of the campaign, so maybe he dealt with a mole from DeSantis campaign, or Rick Scott, who's doing everything to block. Could be. That's so good. I don't know him, so I can only guess. But I do know there's a lot of negative energy around these two readings to do with him. Maybe I should read a biography of him to see if he suffered personal tragedy. Everything comes up negative, though. Okay. Here we go. We got the King of Cups. All right, so this is behind you. Okay, so these events have just passed. Now, this is a man of business and law. That's what the card says. It can be. It's a king. It's an authority figure, of course. They typically are responsible. But this man is he's a very generous and kind person. He is the kind of leader that inspires people to follow him because they like him. And he gets to know everyone around him, and he talks to them and shares with them. And he's a good and effective leader because he not only inspires people, they believe in him because they believe that he cares about them. So you know that's the kind of person that the King of Cups is. Unfortunately, when it's reversed, it's dishonest, and you know he's not the kind of man that you think he is, and he's sort of a tempest. You know, you deal with issues of imbalance and volatility, rage, that kind of thing, and not the kind of leader or the person you'd want to be associated with. That is what's coming. Okay, I'd like to think that this is not talking about the Querent Andrew Gillum, but so far in the past two readings, I've seen cards that describe them kind of that way. I hope we're really just talking about certain aspects of the campaign. So if we're talking about an aspect of the campaign, maybe the campaign didn't succeed outright because it was a volatile campaign, that it wasn't based in mutual understanding. Since he's had to deal with betrayal, and in the previous reading, we saw hints of that maybe the campaign has had to deal with certain elements inside that sabotaged, unless it's self-sabotage. Regardless, he seems to be surrounded on all sides by bad forces. Okay. So, interesting. This is in front of him. Okay, so we got the Eight of Wands. Okie dokie. Now, the Eight of Wands. What we have here is typically this means something's about to happen. A message, you got news. Typically good news. That's what it means. That something's about to happen in your favor. Okay, it's success. So this is something that's about to happen. Typically, I would say in this scenario, he's going to get good, favorable news about a ruling in his favor, allowing more votes to be counted. So that's good to know. So let's keep an eye on that. Okay, so, okay. This is the Querent. Okay, we got the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so this is what he brings to the table for himself, how he views himself in this entire spread. Okay, let's, there we go. So, this means safety, success. She's in her private garden, seeing the fruits of her labor. She's well off. The grapes, of course, represent fertility, but they also represent bounty. Okay? And she's at leisure, walking through her walled garden. Maybe he sees himself like this, protected in some way, successful. Maybe that's how he has to see himself. Maybe he sees himself as already that person because of everything that he's achieved and come this close. Maybe this is why in the previous reading, people looked at him as naive, someone who couldn't get the hint. Maybe this is why. It's that he sees himself as already won. Okay? That's an interesting card. Okay. This is how people see him. All right, that's death. This is, of course, the environment. This is how others see him. End. Transformation, mortality, loss, death, unexpected change. Maybe they see him as done. And that's consistent with how this reading and the previous reading has been going. So, that's interesting. That's funny. It's funny. You're gonna die. Ugly. Babysitting Blues with Kathleen Turner and Dennis Quaid and Stanley Tucci. Possibly one of the funniest movies ever made. I would not lie to you. Saw it in, I think it was at least 15 years ago. 15, 16 years ago. Shit my pants funny. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. 8 of Swords. That certainly is consistent with the other reading. Okay. Feels trapped. Okay. Which, this is hopes and fears. Okay. So we got conflict, feeling trapped, a hostage to beliefs. With the Hierophant from the last reading, definitely. You can see right here, this covers him. This is a card of feeling trapped also. Not being able to leave. This one, of course, is trapped typically by enemies. Okay. But it could be, trapped by your own beliefs system, unable to move forward. Maybe it's a card of feeling like you're your own worst enemy. Maybe that's a fear of his. Could be also a fear that they're going to win, and so he feels besieged. So that's also blindness. So she is blind. So maybe he fears that he blinds himself, and that he imagines that he's surrounded. She assumes that she's surrounded because she's bound and blindfolded and has everything around her. But she can escape. It's not a fully closed circle. That's something to keep in mind. And the final outcome is, drum roll please. The Star. We got a lot of the same cards. Okay. Pretty much no hope. Just going to go ahead and say it. He's not going to get it. He can't overcome the problems that are within his own campaign. And possibly people are looking at him as a lost cause because it is a lost cause. Sorry, Andrew. I really wanted you to be governor. I really did. But Florida's a hard nut to crack. There's a lot of shenanigans. So I don't think it's going to work. It would take a miracle. And both times we've seen this card pop up in that position. Sorry. Anyway, let's just go back to here. So take a little break, a little tea, liquid courage. That's good. Maybe eat some of this little lemon cranberry cake. Holy sweet Jesus. That's amazing. I do requests. If anyone's got a question, They want a tarot card reading. Totally. I will totally do your reading right now. I don't even know how many people are viewing this. I think just one. I only got 2 viewers. That's good. If any one of you two, feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to read someone else, read something else. Maybe I should read Melania. You know, something about her. On one hand, I got people that think, and I think this too sometimes, and we know she's in a loveless marriage, and that it's a marriage of convenience for her, and the fact that as long as she gave him a child, male child, and someone that doesn't embarrass him, she's okay. She's taken care of. We do know that they were set to divorce, and then Donald won, and they put the divorce on hold. That's an open secret in New York and Washington, that they were actually set to divorce. We know that. Personally, I have no sympathy for her. I have empathy for her, but I have no sympathy for her. She knew what she was getting into. She knew the kind of person he was. And then after giving him a child and living with him, and she knew about all of the infidelities. Of course she did. So do you sympathize with her now, having to be in a position in the White House that she doesn't want to be there? She's not equipped to be a politician's wife, a political figure. I'm not going to say she's stupid. I don't know her education, but I know that she's never shown me anything other than Donald Trump's wife. I've never seen anything. Hell, even Ivanka and the other kids, exhibit some modicum of education, mostly, but I've never gotten anything from her. I do know this. She had no problem pushing the birther conspiracy during the election. And whether or not she did that because she had to, if that was a contractual obligation, I don't care. It was a horrible racist thing that she did. So I don't forgive her for that. So do I forgive her? Do I feel sorry for her that she's stuck in a loveless marriage? No, I'm not. She can get out at any time. She can divorce him. He doesn't give a 2 shits about how the office of the presidency is just defecated upon. He doesn't care about any of that. So why would he care about getting divorced and going through a divorce? And he would probably hate tweet her and talk smack about her during the divorce lawyer proceedings and the negotiations. He'd use Twitter as a negotiating tactic, probably even leak some of her secrets in order to deny her alimony. He's that kind of dick. And you know it. He would do that. So she can divorce him at any time. She's not worried about how it would look for the president. So, what is her deal? Is she truly just like Donald? Because there's one part of me and other people that say she is just as ruthless, that she is just as shallow. Or is she a hostage to him through an ironclad prenup agreement that requires her? Because there's the thing, Tom Arnold swears up and down, because he was a part of that social circle and friends with him, that Trump made his kids sign an agreement. They do not love him. He does not love them. That he made them sign an agreement to do certain things to promote the Trump brand and social networking and stuff like that, that it's all contractual. Is that what we're looking at with Melania? Is everything that Melania show publicly, is it because it's contractual and she's really trapped because she'll be made penniless and he'll destroy her and take away the kid? Or is she just a piece of shit as much as Trumpy is? So, I need to pick a card to represent Melania. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. Wait a minute. Maybe. I'm thinking I like that card to represent Melania. Yeah, see? Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, let's see here. Is Melania trapped in a loveless marriage through non-disclosure agreements and non-disparagement clauses and is an unhappy person, or is she truly exactly the kind of person Donald loves, an awful human being taking advantage of his wealth in order to live a more comfortable life and not to be sympathized with at all? That's what I want to know. I want the tarot to illuminate us on the kind of person she is. Okay. Okie dokie. So, interesting. This covers her. We got the Magician. Okay, this covers her. This is represents the current situation, influences. Interesting. Skill and diplomacy does show that she is a smart cookie. She knows what she's doing. Magicians also are known as manipulators because they have the skills in order to, at their hand to do what needs to be done. And they're very self-confident. That's interesting that this is the card that covers her. Wow. Fascinating. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to light my candle. Would you light my candle? Did I tell you I'm a theater geek? Love my musicals. Got the hiccups. Too much whiskey. Oh, whew. All right. So, let's do the next one. Ooh, that's reversed. Okay, so reversed, and that covers. So we got that is the Five of Cups. All right. Okay, typically this is a card of loss and regret. We have spilled cups. Okay, there's a couple behind them, meaning there is still something left to be salvaged by. But this is interesting. This is in reversed. This would be someone who's recovering from a loss, okay, from a sad situation. They've accepted the loss, and they've accepted the sadness, and they are addressing it with themselves and moving on. This could be an indication of someone who is accepting their lot in life and is planning the next stages. Okay, so moving forward, that sort of thing, a rebound. Remember, I said that it was a common knowledge that she was going to divorce him. Okay, in order to get to the resolution of this reading, she has to. This would tell us that she is going to take the actions to move forward. Okay, and that she is a smart cookie, and she recognizes her situation, and it was a sad situation that she can't. That maybe it was typically when there's a loss. Interesting. Typically when there's a loss and you grieve over something, it's not by your own hands, whether it's a loss of a family member, a friend, loved one, that kind of thing, or your house, something like that, or your job. You bemoan the situation. It's not your fault. In this reversed, it's acceptance and rebound from that loss. It's a good omen. So she had an opportunity to rid herself of him, and then she couldn't, and she has decided to move on. Or maybe she signed all those agreements and then realized, holy shit, I am stuck in this because he'll destroy me. And now he's the president. And that kind of man with that kind of power has even more power to destroy me. So now she has to come to grips with that to figure out what to do and move forward so that she doesn't fall into despair. That's an interesting. I like that one. That's what I like. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. That is what I'd like to hear. So, Oracle Clyde, what's next? Aha. All right. That is above her. That is Temperance. Okay. Such a lovely name. This is above you. As we know, this is what could happen. This is where events are sort of leading to. Could also be what they want to happen or the best that can happen. Okay? Temperance, we know what that means, don't? It means moderation, evening out, accommodating things, a nice balance, perspective, not giving in to vices, that kind of thing. So maybe that's what she wants, is to achieve a certain level of, and she sort of looks that way. She looks like she has a Botoxed face where she's reached an equilibrium. Okay? And sort of biding her time. Don't make any too crazy moves. Don't be seen overreaching, because then he may turn on her. Could be. That could be. So, let us figure out the next one. So, that's something to think about. Okay. Ooh, interesting. We got the world. All right. So, give me 1 second. All right, 21. The world and okay, so This is below you. Sorry, I had a little technical issue. We've got with the world, this is the foundation. This is below. This is sort of the subconscious. This is what she brings to the table, to who she is. Interesting. Inertia and permanence, stagnation, because typically the world is a success card, and basically it's a great thing. When it's reversed, stagnation, you're not moving forward. Doesn't mean necessarily bad, but it's you're stuck. You are stuck, and she is stuck. And that's kind of the spread that we're looking at so far. So far, it's in her favor, being someone who unfortunately became stuck in a situation. So right now in the reading, I'm going to cut her a little slack, okay? Thank you, Tarot. Melania thanks you. Like she gives a shit. Okay. Interesting. I've got some opinions on this one. Okay. 5 of Wands. Okay. This is behind you. This just happened. This was an event that happened in the past, and it's moved forward up to today. Here's the thing. This is about competition, strife amongst peers. Good competition. If you look, these look like friends that are having a friendly stick fight. Because, who doesn't have a group of friends that beats the shit out of each other with giant staves? Pursuit of one's goals. It also says the arena of ideas. Here's the thing. Here's how I interpret this card. I could be wrong, but she really wanted us to believe that she was an independent person. This Be Best campaign, which was just subtweeting the fact that her husband is a piece of shit online and is bullier number one for everyone. And she wanted us to believe that she was a balancing force in his life. I don't buy it. It looks like it was sort of just but here's the thing. We now know that the FLOTUS office has a lot of strife going on. She just announced publicly that she does not support this person being on the National Security Council, because obviously the First Lady of the United States has the ability to get people fired publicly on fucking Twitter. So we know that the office of the First Lady has been battling and duking it out with other people within. It's like an internecine war. Basically, departments fighting each other, being nasty to each other. The shit that we plebes deal with every day in a corporate or regular work environment. She goes through that too. So this is an event that she just did. And that actually, we do know, happened. So, this is in front of her. Interesting. The tide turns. Okay. So this is in front of her. This is what's going to happen in the immediate future. Okay. This is hard work, saving and planning. Typically has to do when you're working for the future. She may be doing this. She may be laying the foundation for getting the fuck out. Okay. Because she accepted it. She has to accept it. She hopes to achieve sort of an even temperance. And typically, good hard work is about that, temperance. And this person is looking at the work that they're doing. So that could be it. Something, she's laying down some plans. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it has to relate to what just happened, and this is part of this hard work. Okay, she's got something like House of Cards up her sleeve. Okay, she's biding her time. That's what these two tell me. She's biding her time. Okay. Yeah, boy. Two of Cups. So, with the Two of Cups, this is the querent. This is how she sees herself. Basically, it's what you think it is, Disarmament. This is typically a card of love and relationship and marriage. It's reversed. You get the idea, okay? Definitely how she sees herself. That's how the world sees her. So, interesting, because this next card is supposed to be how everyone sees her. Oh, interesting. Ace of Swords. Okay. Okay, this one typically is, these cards talk about the seed, the genesis, the beginning of something. And with the Ace of Swords, it has to do with sort of critical thinking and a breakthrough, assertiveness, triumph. Typically with a sword, has to do with either legal matters or some kind of a judicial outcome, but it does have to do with thought and ethics. So people see that of her. So they do see her as a powerful person who is breaking through. Maybe her supporters see that in her as someone who is having to triumph in such a terrible position. A lot of people don't view her as a weak person. They don't view her as a victim. Even if they're on her side, if they believe that she's been in a bad situation, they believe that she's made the best of a bad situation. And then there are those who think who think ill of her, like I do. I believe that she is a sort of like Robin Wright from House of Cards, manipulating the thing, that she's a lot smarter than a lot of people think she is. So yeah, maybe. She certainly just won a critical test with this evicting this person from the White House. That from everything I've read, a terrible person, that she just got fired. And has always been a terrible person. Mean. So there's a victory for that. I don't like mean people. I don't think Melania is a mean person to other people. Obviously she's tainted by Trump. But anyway. This, hopes and fears. Okay, so Ten of Swords. All right. Well, typically this, of course, is a bad card. Pain, sadness, death. When it's reversed, it means that you are at your lowest point, but you know that you can only go up. Okay? That may be her hope. That she may feel that she's in her that she wants there to be hope. Maybe she is continuously sad, because she does look sad. I mean, that can't all be Botox. It can't all be. Maybe about 20, 30%. But maybe the rest of it is, like she's dead inside and she's been just keeping it all packed down. And maybe she longs for the ability to see that you can only climb up. I'm at rock bottom. I can only go up. So maybe that's what she's hoping for. That's interesting. Okay. And there's the outcome. 3 of Cups. Reversed. Got a lot of reversals. There's just a lot of negativity going on. This is the outcome. Normally this is celebration. But when it's reversed, an affair. The end. The party's over. Interesting. I think I have some respect for her because here's what I see. She is a smart person. She can get her way because she is talented. Her challenge is to accept her losses, which of course that's where she's moving to with temperance. She is working. She's just come from a conflict. She's working for the future. Her foundation is stagnation. Of course, she sees herself in a broken marriage, broken love. People see her as at the beginning of a triumph. She wants and longs for the ability to have hope again, that she can recover. And this is the end of the end. This is an affair. This is, stifling. The party's over. It's all going to end for her, but she's preparing everything and working toward it, slowly and surely. Now, this either is she's going to end it herself and come out on top, or it'll end for her against her will. I don't know. This tells me, though, that she has her own subterfuge based on the fact that she does regret. I believe she does regret, but she recognizes the fact of the situation, which is he is a terrible, terrible person. And she has a child that's involved in this, Baron. We leave him out of things, all right, because he's a kid. He's blameless. Trump certainly doesn't fucking talk about his own kid. Asshole. So, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to temper my assessment of Melania. And here is, make sure my Oracle Clyde Fez is on. Melania, whether or not she got into this marriage for good or bad, if she had ill intentions, if she saw a way for her to stay in America, take advantage of the situation, and here was a wealthy billionaire or multimillionaire. She got into it. She knew what she was getting into. She thought all she needed to do was give him a kid and let him diddle other people. But then she saw that she was trapped. She tried to get out. She couldn't get out. He won the presidency because they did not believe he was going to win at all. And he did. So she had to come to terms with that. but she's been working on a way out, or for the eventuality of when she gets out, that she'll be covered. And people are recognizing that in her. So, she's biding her time. So, what you see is the mask that she presents to you. And that is my assessment of Melania. Beep 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 boo do 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 beep boop boo 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 do da da do 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 do. Think I'm gonna do a quick little three-fer, do. Gonna do a quick little three-fer, gonna do a quick little three-fer, gonna do a quick little three-fer before I sign off. How's my week going to go? All right. We got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. Let's change the camera. Okay. All right. So. All right. All right. So we got the 5 of Pentacles. This is in the past, and it's reversed. Financial recovery, self-renewal, spiritual poverty. Yep, that's pretty much it. I've recovered financially. I'm doing pretty good, but I am seeking, as I contemplate my own mortality, I do have spiritual poverty. So that's correct. So current present. Okay, we've got nope. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so that's reversed again. Oh boy. Feeling trapped, frustration, lack of ambition. This is a current thing. I mean, I've been struggling with that. That's why I'm doing this. I took a break. I took a mental break from everything. I put all my effort into this Twitch stream. This is therapy. Tarot is therapy for all people, really. It's therapy for me, therapy for you. It helps to examine. So as you watch me deal with my own bullshit, I'll help you with your bullshit. Is that a deal? Okay, good. Currently, that's what I'm dealing with, and I'm working through that. And then the future, we got the Magician. So, and he's reversed. Okay. Use of power for evil, arrogance, loss of control, a con man. That's something I got to worry about. For the future, do I worry about becoming a con man, not being true to myself or to you? Do I put on a character, for a gimmick? Or should I be who I am? That kind of thing. Am I really this kind of nuts? I am. I am kind of nuts. But, we all put on masks for people. That's something I gotta be careful of. All right? So, since we're dealing with there's some negative shit going on right now in the country, and it's all resulting in reversed cards. We got to be more positive people. As a country, we got to be hopeful. Like, I know right now the Republicans are defeated, and they're just eating one big shit taco. And there's a lot of angry Republicans, angry at their party, angry at Trump, angry at me, angry at libs, and all that anger. It does nothing but just go around the world and goes around and hangs out in the atmosphere and just chokes. It chokes you, and it chokes all hope. And none of those good vibes can break through that cloud and circulate up in the stratosphere and come back to other people around the globe. It just keeps it from floating out there, and that negativity. And I can see it. And it's just, and it's ick. And it's ick. I mean, that's why I cut the cord. I have no cable. I was a cable news junkie. I watch my Rachel. I watch my Chris Hayes. I watch my CNN, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo. All of it. Loved it. Had to cut it out. It was rotting my soul. So now I just do Netflix and Amazon. I probably watch 10 times more television because of that. It's great shit. I love it. Love the streaming. Haunting of Hill House. Best fucking show on TV right now. Watch it. And Legends of Tomorrow. That's pretty fun. That's like my Daily Mail, National Enquirer, guilty, reality show fix. Legends of Tomorrow. Anyway, I digress. But we got to fix this. We got to take the hope and inspiration that the Democrats and the progressives are looking forward to, and we need to spread that to the Republicans so that they can hopefully feel like, you know what, we need to get our shit together and clean out our party. Because I have no problem with conservatives. I have no problem having valid debates with people on ideology and policy. But I will not tolerate hate and ignorance and bigotry and homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, fucking Nazis in my country. Alt-right. I won't tolerate it. And the Republican Party needs to deal with that. So hopefully the Republicans can do that. And we can bring this country back to a healthy middle. So with that, I am going to sign off. And I thank you for my 2 viewers. And you guys have a great, great night.